Well, welcome to round 5 of SBR GT3 Season 4, and we're at the iconic Fuji track, and we'll be running the short track this week without the chicane. So we'll have the fast right-hander instead of the Mickey Mouse chicane, and here's the grid. Kevin is on pole ahead of Nathan, his nemesis. Those two having a right championship battle. Then it's Yorgos in the Porsche ahead of Liam, who's qualified well. Kulinen, the controversial Kulinen's 5th. Then it's Adam ahead of Lewis. Coleman starts well ahead of Will. And the battle of the Lexus is Sean's ahead of Ben. And then it's Tassos ahead of Panos. And Brian and Andrew at the back. So only the one Corvette again this week. So we start the race. 3 lights on, 4 lights on, 5 lights on. Who will get the drive down into turn 1? And we're away for round 5. Lots of smoke as the drivers head away, and Nathan's got a great start. He's got a rocket start ahead of Kevin. Kevin's gone wide in a new livery again, and Lewis has rammed his teammate up the back, and he's caused bedlam at the start. Ben's around, Kulinen's round, and there's an aftershock basically of that first contact, but well, Lewis into the back of his teammate, and we're on board with Kulinen to recheck that. And he's got a pretty awful start. It was probably most of the smoke we saw, and he's dropped 2 positions already, but just ahead, and here comes Coleman as well, and just ahead is Lewis, and Lewis just misses his braking point, hits his teammate and Adam, and then everyone else just bunches up. Tassos is round, Kulinen's fully round, and Ben obviously knocked wide in that incident as well, but Nathan's free and away, and Adam's flying up the inside there, as well was Coleman, who's trying to go past Yorgos. And Kevin goes round the outside of Liam, and he's going to try and go around the outside of Yorgos as well. That's an audacious overtake, but with the skill of Kevin you can pull that off, and he's done it. And Liam as well down the inside of Yorgos, and Ben up the inside of Brian. So pretty dreadful start for him. So 2 of the championship contenders kind of hobbled there at the first corner, and Lewis basically just, well, let's just call it an accident. Nathan though with the breakaway, and so close to winning a race this season, but hasn't quite pulled it off yet. And Kevin's always managed to outfox him as Sean and Yorgos, or is that Will getting into contact? Yep, it's Will. Panos well up in the BMW. His teammate though again, another one affected by, there he is, Tassos, affected by the accident at turn 1, which I'm sure there'll be repercussions there. But it's a Mercedes 1-2, and here comes the rocket ship, as we call it. Benson and Hedges, Nissan, and it's already going past Kevin. Kevin did the hard work by passing him, but just down the straight got no answer to that car, and in fact Will's, or is that Yorgos, having a look at Lewis. Lewis didn't decide to drop back and take a penalty for that. He decided that it was just a racing incident, but that's definitely going to be looked at after the race. But Kevin does swoop around the outside, and he'll be relieved of that. Doesn't want to spend too much time behind the Nissan, but the Nissan's coming back at him again, and Coleman's not letting this lie. He looks down the inside but not able to do it. The Toyota is much better on the brakes and turning, and wide from Will, and he swipes the side of Sean, who wasn't giving him any room to come back on the track. Probably right to do that, and Sean all the way around the outside, a great move, and Ben all the way around the outside at the next corner, but he's gone a bit deep, and that should give Will the position back. The Lexus and the Porsche both hopeless down the straight, so this will probably be a pathetic drag race. But Will wins out, as some of the faster guys trying to come back through. Tassos though 14th, the man that led the championship after Dragon Trail, is not had a great luck since. And it's Nathan that leads. Adam second, his teammate, so that's good news. And Coleman's off. He's obviously dropped a wheel on the curb, and it's dragged him right out wide, so he drops from 4th, I believe it was, down to 8th. So pretty drastic error there from Coleman, as now Lewis has been attacked by Yorgos. Yorgos has got the place at the moment. What's the legs like on the Audi? And will Liam help him? No, Liam's going to go and help the Porsche. He might even get both here. And we're 3 wide, although Lewis has now switched back and followed his teammate. Let's see if we can do a better job of stopping for turn 1 now. He's braked a bit early, so once bitten, twice as shy, and Coleman's gone wide at the first turn again. Coleman's really struggling to find his braking points today, which is a shame because he made a good start. It's just suddenly going downhill now. He's down to 11th now, and he's just ahead of his teammate, who's putting on a good show and still fighting off the BMW of Tassos. But Tassos now forcing a way through. Brian's not giving up though, he's pushed off the track, but he comes back for more. Great driving from Brian, not giving up. That's what we like to see. Kevin though has closed the gap up to Adam, and what's this all about? That's an Audi round and a BMW. So what's happening is Sean and Tassos side by side, and Panos, sorry, they're side by side, and they've collided and they've taken Lewis with them. Well, I'm sure that's another one that's going to be looked at. But it looked like Sean and Tassos got together, and Panos, sorry, keep saying Panos, Tassos, whatever, and obviously got into the Audi as well, which wasn't really his fault at all. He just turned in and got whacked. So that's put another complexion on this race. As Nathan still leads this, but now Kevin really all over the back of the second Mercedes. And Adam do well to hold on. So let's run through. So it's Nathan, Adam, Kevin, Liam, Yorgos, Sean, Will, Ben, Coleman, Lewis, ooh, and then it's Brian behind Tassos, and then Andrew at the back there. Well, meanwhile Kevin now fully attacking Adam, tries to go around the outside at turn 1, and will he pull that off? It worked against Coleman, but it's not going to work this time. He tries to switch back, but we know that Merc's pretty ridiculous down the straight as well in terms of power. Liam holding well 4th, Yorgos 5th, Sean in 6th, Sean in a Porsche sandwich, and he's got his teammate closing in to try and help. And there's a car off in the background, and it's Tassos again. So Tassos' miserable season now starting to unfold. He's come out of the first corner. Now what happened here? Did he get 2 wheels over the curb? He did, dropped it, and that's auto spin straight into the wall, and that'll be damaged as well. As you can see, he's damaged. Oh, and it's come straight out in front of Andrew as well, so double jeopardy. And again, that might be something that's looked at, as Kevin now tries the outside of on Adam, which he'll try to do a switchback, but just about pulls it off. A bit of contact, aggressive from Kevin, but well, I guess after turn 1 he'll feel like he owes someone something. Adam though not gonna give up. Pretty quick for this sector. Liam doing well in 4th, just holding off Yorgos and Sean and Will and Ben. So the Lexus is, with the help of everyone else, smashing into each other, moving forward slowly. There's Brian doing a good job up in 11th. Helakunen and Panos as they recover, and Tassos is constantly recovering from spins and contact, so he'll be less than pleased with that. But again, Nathan leads and he's starting to edge away, although Kevin now up in a second might be able to change that. And we're waiting for the first of the pit stops for lap 4. We'll probably see pit stops around lap 6 to 8 or 9. Depending on the strategies. There'll be some people trying a free stop, I would imagine, and most will go for 2, but it's just depending when they stop and how much fuel they want to save. A lot of people be in fuel saving mode right now. I'd imagine this line of cars is. Sean's outbraked himself by looks of it. He's gone for the dive bomb on Yorgos, and to be honest, he kind of thought about it and then fought against it and was already doing it, so he had to pull the move off. He thinks about waiting for Yorgos, but he's probably thinking Yorgos isn't coming, so he's waited. And Yorgos slowly returns to the track, probably wondering why he's bothering. It looked like Sean's error. Sean thought about the move down the inside, thought it was on, thought about getting out of the move by the looks of it, and by then it was too late. He was already committed to it. And Yorgos can feel rightly aggrieved on that one. But the other Porsche is still steaming along, but now he's got the other Lexus behind him with Ben. So Will up there doing a great job. Will obviously struggled with connection at the start of the season, figured out what the issue was, and has been a welcome addition to GT3 as well as British touring cars as well, which you can catch on a Friday night, by the way. Kulinen though, on a much better showing in terms of contact this week. Most of the drivers not very happy with him in the first few rounds, but he seems to have cleaned his act up for this round, and he is a good driver, just needs to cut out all the mistakes. And he's proven that today as he's coming back from that spin at the first corner. Still Liam 4th, Will 5th, Ben in 6th, Sean 7th despite that crash. And here's Lewis. Lewis, will he go to the pits? He looks like he's heading that way. Will he be our first pit stopper? And he is. Lap 5, so that's very, very early. Extremely early. But he's in. Change the tyres, and then he'll put a bit of fuel in as well. away he goes. So he didn't put a lot of fuel in, so he's got three quarters of a tank. So here comes Sean down into that tricky corner. So the order sorts itself out after that pit stop. It's just jumbled up a bit. So Lewis comes out 12th. Nathan still leads, and well, Kevin taking a few temps out of him, but nothing more than that. Some great pace from 4th and 5th guys. And well, like I say, Lewis 12th ahead of Yorgos in 13th, 14th, sorry. But it is still Nathan who's losing a little bit of time to Kevin. Kevin, though, normally he's the one that's saving the fuel, and I think Nathan's been, well, learning that trait, and it's something that Kevin's used to great effect in the first 2 races, on endurance races, as Adam comes in. The fuel and the tyres are going to be a critical part of this race. They always are. It's whether you 2 or 3 stops, so I would hazard a guess that Adam's on a 3 stop as well as Lewis. If you're pitting this lap, I would say you're on a 3 stop. Liam's in, so maybe it's around about the right lap 6, at the end of lap 6, start of lap 7, so you're going to presume 7, 14 and 21 laps they'll be in. And Liam taking a good bit of fuel as well, so a bit more than his teammate. Here's Nathan, though, still with the lead, still with Kevin sort of closing. Ben taking more of the track than he really needs to. There's Coleman sort of recovering from all his exploits in 6th. This looks like trouble sideways there from Lewis as he gets past Brian. Brian having a pretty good showing. But Lewis takes the position, and in the background there, Tassos looks like he's made the move too. So he's got the skyline out the way. With Yorgos, I believe that is, lurking in the background. Down into this final sector they come. This is kind of follow the leader through here, unless you want to make a brave move, and Brian has, and he's got back at Tassos. He's not having any rubbish today, is he? Brian's fully on it. And round comes, ooh, is that still, yep, that's Panos making a move there on Lewis, so he takes him back. But has the Audi got the legs of the BMW M6? At the moment, no, but he's pulled out anyway. Let's see if he can get past, or is he going to have to pull back in as Coleman pits. And it's a drag race, and there isn't much in that. Let's see into the braking zone. Can Lewis get it right? Looks like he might have. Panos tries to turn in on him, but when there's a car there, you can't really do that. Coleman comes out in 11th after taking on a fair bit of fuel as well. Brian follows him in, and Tassos comes out as well. Still waiting for Andrew to pit. Andrew not having a stellar showing, to be honest with you. He's quite a way off the pace. Although his fastest lap's not that bad. But then comparing it to Nathan, he's about 4 seconds a lap slower, so that's going to tell in a race of this competitive nature. There's a lot of fast guys in this. The fastest 2 are at the front, and they have been all season. It's Nathan now being closed down by Kevin. And we've seen this before in the first 2 races, like I've mentioned, and Nathan's always lost out to Kevin. So what will be the outcome today? Who knows? Has Nathan learnt enough to try and beat Kevin at his own game? But these 2 now fully in battle, and it's Will just holding off Ben. And like I say, they're equally pathetic down the straight, so we'll see. And Sean comes in, and Kevin's in as well, so this will be interesting to see how much fuel he puts in. He normally doesn't put a full tank in on the first set, and he doesn't. That's not a lot of fuel he's put in there. He's probably just trying to get track position, so 60 odd litres there, so, and it's got him out ahead of Adam, so that's what he was aiming for. He wanted some track position to whack in some laps by the looks of it, and meanwhile his teammates got issues, and it's the issue of Lewis trying to get down the inside. Looks like Lewis might have pulled that one off. Bit of contact on the exit, but he's through, and that's put him up to 6th. Meanwhile, a few more pit stops happening. Liam's sideways in 10th. He's got Coleman right behind him. And if Coleman gets any sort of sniff on the straight, he'll be through. So now we need to see when Nathan will pit. Nathan's still got a lot of fuel on board, so he's obviously been fuel saving himself. So into this final twisty sector, which just kills the tyres. You can see the left side taking a right battering. So here comes Nathan out the corner. I would say he's going to pit this lap. Will's still got issues with Ben. And yep, Nathan definitely coming in. And here he comes and messed that up a little bit. So that'll cost him a few tenths. And that might be the difference between winning and losing this race. You never know at the end. Tyres come off and Will and Ben are in, and Ben seems to have got a good entry into the pit lane, but we'll see. And here comes Kevin, so on board with Kevin. Let's look back and just see. No Nathan there. Look back, that's Adam, and Nathan just leaving the pit lane. So yep, Kevin's undercut on fuel has worked for Kevin, but he has got a hell of a lot less fuel in, and Nathan's got a full tank, so Nathan probably won't have to put a lot of fuel in the final stop. We'll have to watch that, and this has always been the case. Nathan always seems to have more fuel after the first stops, but it's normally Kevin's pace that keeps him in the mix. Ben's pitted and come out with Coleman alongside him. Coleman will take that. I would have fought down the inside, and he has. Ben's looking for a switch back, but well, can he go around the outside? Well, Coleman's gone wide, so down the inside goes the Lexus, but not going to work. He pulls out the move, and rightly so. These two have a lot of respect for each other, get on well. And Coleman, one of the favourites in SBR, doing a good job after his earlier travails. He's in 8th place now. So Ben 9th, Liam 7th after the pit stops, 6th for Sean, 5th for Will. So Will's obviously not put quite as much fuel in as well, and is ahead of that group. Here it is. And Ben down the inside of Coleman. He just instantly reacts there and gets down the inside. Coleman out on the marbles a little bit, and that's Ben through into 8th. Tassos on the storming comeback at the moment. He's up to 10th. Kulinen's dropping back a bit, and Panos has gone grass tracking. Again, Andrew, like I say, is just a little bit off the pace this week. Not a lot of practice as well, to give him, to be fair to him. Kevin leads from Adam. Remember, Adam's 3 stopping. We believe Kevin and Nathan are 2 stopping. So we're trying to keep on top of all these strategies. Won't be easy, but we'll try. Nathan will feel secure that he's got more fuel, but probably won't know he has. And we're trying to figure out why he's so far back from Kevin when he had a 2 or 3 second lead. He's whacking in a fastest first sector anyway. It's Will still holding off this group. And now the 2 Audis are at play, and they're not really working together to try and get back at the Lexus and Porsche. But Liam takes the position anyway. Sort of a let by Lewis. Ben now just edging away from Coleman. And Tassos, like I say, is in 10th. And Andrew does pit in the 7-Up Corvette. But wide there from Will. Gone a bit all agricultural there, and Ben now trying the same trick on Lewis as he did on Coleman a lap ago, and it's worked again. But this is all going to be costing him tyres and fuel, which he would love to have been saving, I'm sure. But Coleman, there's something weird there. It looked like he was off the track, but he's back again. So obviously a bit of a playback issue with Gran Turismo Sport there. Kulinen moving on to the back of Yorgos though. That's going to be a battle that's going to unfold, I would have thought. And the unfortunate Panos, who taken out earlier in the race, down in 13th. Brian now dropped back to 14th. With his customary battle with Andrew. Andrew beating Brian at Monza, so Brian will be looking for revenge. Speaking of revenge, Kevin's only got just under half a tank, so let's compare that with Nathan, who's got over 3/4 of a tank, so that is going to be pretty conclusive when we come to the pit stop, so Kevin really has to go now and try and pull a gap, and then we'll see what it is at the pit stops, but I think it's going to be very close. Exciting for us. Now Adam's just got to let his teammate go, really, because Adam's on a totally different strategy. Let's see. Really let him go here. He's not really doing it, and now he sort of does, sort of doesn't, and that's cost Nathan time. They could have worked that a lot better, and I would have thought that's probably cost Nathan about a second there. Will's still holding off Sean, and now Ben's onto the back of Liam. So there is Yorgos still ahead of Kulinen, and Lewis fighting Panos. So he's obviously pitted again, Lewis. He was pretty much the first guy to pit at the start, in fact he was. Kevin there with a good lead. And here's a battle. Ben's got a good run out of the last corner. And Liam's got his hazards on for some reason. And they're both very close to the pit wall. And wow, it looks like Liam actually wanted a pit there. And Ben's on the inside of him, so he couldn't. And then down the hill they go, down to the first corner. And Liam shows what he thinks of that. So we have a bit of a swipe. And well, two drivers that have known each other for a long time, and I'm sure they'll forget about it afterwards, but yeah, I think it could have been dealt with a different way. Kevin still leads. Now Nathan clear of his teammate as the Mercedes runs second and third. Will fourth, still with the attentions of Sean, although he has pulled a little gap. Ben though with I'm sure a little bit of an angry Liam behind him, and then Coleman, who's, like I say, doing a pretty steady job now, and he's got over all his antics. He's found his breaking points. Lewis seems to be slowly dropping back through the field on this race as well. You see Brian Pitt, and he's out ahead of Andrew. Kevin's sliding the car though, he's really trying. He probably knows the situation. He's got to use this low fuel and to his advantage, which will give him better pace. So he needs to pull a gap on Nathan. He'll know that, but Nathan's been pretty solid and fast in practice. And Adam's doing a good job for the team up in third, but we know he's going to have to pit one more time than the rest. Will and Sean just seem to be on a tow rope. They're kind of following each other around. Here comes Liam, who wanted to pit a lap ago but couldn't. And he's finally into the pits now. And here's Tassos with Yorgos closing quick. Kulinen just off the back of that battle. So Panos again, another one with a good comeback after that spin out of turn one. And the Audis are at play part two. Liam ahead of Lewis. Liam with the fresh rubber though should be able to prevail, I would have thought. He's got the inside, and well, I'm sure he would have wanted to take the race in line through there. His teammate's not helping really, he's pushing him hard. So there's obviously no team orders at Alpha Audi. But Liam's clear. And now he should have his tyres up to temperature, he should be able to pull away. So Lewis just steadily moving back through this field. And he was on a free stop as well, so that's going to be pretty dramatic for him at the end of the race, I would think. Still Kevin whacking in the laps, low 34. But Nathan's matching him with heavier fuel. The gap's pretty big, and so we'll have to see what the difference is with the fuel at the end. And here comes Adam, much better entry to the pit lane this time. So he'll have to take on quite a lot of fuel as well, he's only got 15 left. But then he is free stopping, so he probably won't need to take on as much as the two stoppers, so that might help him. Coleman comes in as well. Kulinen on the back of someone there, I didn't quite catch who that was. Might have been Tassos. So when will we get a pit stop from Kevin? He's still got a bit of fuel left, so I would imagine another couple laps. Nathan fuel saving, you can see he's not revving the car out. through this tricky, well, I find it tricky, complex of corners. Just trying to pick the line through there, look, bit of curb and not run out too wide, because that curb's got all the hallmarks of spinning you around. Kicking up the dust or anything like that, it just puts doubt on your tyres and it will compromise you for the next few corners. Adam now flying along on new tyres, so let's see how he does. And still the Audis are at play. I thought Liam would be able to pull away, but he hasn't so far. Coleman now behind Panos. Brian pretty well ahead of Andrew this week, but Andrew being caught very quickly by Kevin, and now Sean looks like he's got interest on the back of Will, much closer this time. Can he pull the move at turn 1? He's looking, and he's alongside, and looks like he'll be able to pull that one off, although Will's looking for the switch back and he's got it. Now I would imagine the Porsche's much better off the corner with the engine over the back of the rear wheels, and it looks like he is. And the Lexus, like I say, is probably the slowest on the straight, and he's had to give that one up. And a good move from Will, saw it coming and thought of an option as a straight comeback, and he pulled it off very well. A French driver, now from southern France instead of middle France. Cullinan, like I say, doing a pretty good job. Liam though seems to have dropped back, and he's got damage, so Liam's been off. Didn't catch that. And we haven't got the replay, so saved you your blushes there, Liam. Kevin though, how's his fuel? Well, he might get another lap out of it. Let's see. Low 34, so he's doing a really good pace. It's just that Nathan is matching him, which is something that Nathan couldn't do at Monza or Dragon Trail until the final stint. It was too late, although Nathan with a mid to high 34 the last 2 laps. This is going to be extremely close, and I hope you're ready to see the outcome of it. We're going to find out in the next few laps. Adam's moving in pretty quick on Ben as well, by the way. It's another one to watch, but both got to pit one more time. There's Lewis. So I don't know what happened with his teammate. Can't imagine they hit each other for the second time, surely. But Liam up the inside of Coleman, that's a waste of time because bye. Yeah, nice try. In comes Yorgos. Very polite with a pit lane entry. Most people have just been slamming it off the barrier through there, but Yorgos is a gentleman. He had 9 litres of fuel left, so he's going to have to take a big gulp to get to the end. There's 10 laps to go. And Kevin will be gutted about this. He's caught Andrew, which is on his in lap as well, I would say. Will Andrew be good? Yep, Andrew's done the right thing and just let Kevin go. Kevin will be thankful of that. So Kevin being this lap, the fuel lights flashing. Nathan's still got half a tank, so that's quite a lot of time in a pit stop. I'm really not sure how this one's going to pan out. Lewis getting sideways over the curb. And in comes Kevin then, so this is crucial. Ooh, that's not a great entry as well, so he's lost time there, and actually Nathan following him. So remember what I said at Monza, that Nathan should have pitted the same lap as Kevin, and he's trying it this lap, this race, sorry. Now, let's see if he's actually learnt the lesson, so he's come in. He won't need a lot of fuel, so we need to see who's coming out first. It probably will be Kevin. Well, Nathan's on the move, so where's Kevin? And there he is. And Nathan, well, there's a Porsche coming, that's Will. Can Nathan get past Will? He has, and now that could be crucial to the outcome of this race. Will just tried everything to get in front of him, but it just did not happen. And Nathan crucially gets out in front, and well, now we'll see what Kevin's got. Both on the equalish fuel. There's others pit. Sorry, we're not really covering that, but Lewis is in, I can see, and a few others look like Sean had been in. But now Nathan leads the race, and he won't get a better opportunity to win a race. Mind you, there's still 8 laps to go, and we know what Kevin's like with his pace. You can see him there, not that far back, but if Kevin's got to get past Will as well, that's going to compromise him. Although Will is due a stop anytime soon. Will not exactly slow, let's put it that way. So now we're going to may get our battle. we've been waiting for. They had a great battle at Dragon Trail. Kevin came out on top. Monza, Kevin was able to, well, whack in the laps at the end and be fast enough to win the race. And this time, well, Kevin's got to do it again from behind, so to speak. Sean up behind Cullinan. Cullinan goes wide. Sean goes round the outside. Looks like Cullinan's short of a bit of tyre life there. Just no answer on the exit, and you can see the tyres are getting a bit worn out as Liam moves in towards Coleman. Out the last corner they come, sideways from Liam as well, and his tyres are almost cried enough. Nathan though, we'll see how he's getting on now. We'll see the lap times if we can. We'll see if Kevin's able to close in. There's a few people pit now. I think Sean and Will was the guy that pitted there, and he's come out behind Sean. Lewis in 10th, fresh tyres. Might get out ahead of his teammate, looks like he has, and Liam's obviously dropping back because he had that spin. So the ex-champion's down in 12th right now. Just not really clicking with that Audi, is he? Some rumours of car change for next season, and some interesting thoughts on that, but I can't divulge that information unfortunately. But we're hearing that Liam will change cars. Also the Lexus guys are thinking about it. Although that car's been great for them, it's just lacking a bit of horsepower. And Sean though just behind Will. I'm not sure whether Will was in front or behind, but they've been together pretty much the whole race. Will's determined to get that 4th place, which could be 3rd because we know Adam's got to pit again. Will Adam pit this lap? Probably. Yes, he does. He won't need a lot of fuel, so he's got 21 already, so well, probably need about half a tank to get to the end. So that'll put him behind Will and maybe Ben as well. But he's got newer tyres, so expect Adam to come flying back at everyone. And there he comes out the pits, so yeah, he's just behind Ben. Panos pits with 3 litres left as well on this lap. Will and Sean part, what's this, 60? Fighting each other again. Now where can the Lexus find a move? He's passed him once but got instantly repassed. There's not much between these guys in terms of pace and speed. Coleman up to 7th. Tassos up to 8th, so a great comeback from Tassos so far. Lewis 9th. Cullinan 10th, but it's got Yorgos closing in. Got Liam 12th. Not a great day for him, and Panos in 13th, ahead of, well, Brian, and well, Andrew's closed in a lot, so still they're fighting. Kevin trying to get slipstream off the Nissan. Any attempt to try and gain time on Nathan. 34.6, so not the best of laps for Kevin. You can go way faster than that. Was he held up by Brian? I'm not sure, but Brian's now letting him through anyway. Brian just gets straight out of the way. And meanwhile, this battle for 3rd rages. Sean still not able, and Coleman pits again, so Coleman's felt the need, he needs to pit again. Sean nearly whacks the back of Will. Ben though being caught by Adam again. Mercedes really working well on this track. Lewis moving up slowly after looked like he was dropping back, but well, Coleman's come out in a 8th place, just ahead of the Cullinan and Yorgos battle, so we're relieved at that. Runs wide at turn 1 though, we've seen that cause issues before, and Coleman just grabs it. Panos can tell him all about that, or Tassos. The green BMW can tell you all about that. It was Tassos, I got that in the end. I say ignorant British guy trying to remember Greek names, really sorry. awesome looking Skyline though. GTR is a match for the Toyota at the moment. He's pulling away. Yorgos is well, troubled race after being hit a couple times. Tassos down 12th, Panos 13th to make it even more complicated for me. Cheers guys. The BMW's not showing well. Mercedes is though, and he's got more than enough for Kevin at the moment. He's lapping 2 tenths faster that last time through. Kevin's just does not seem to have an answer for Nathan around this track. You're not alone, Kevin, no one else has. Will under a massive attack now from Sean. Oh, and Will's gone in far too deep, but with the Porsche's exit speed, I'm sure he can just about hang on to that, and the Lexus hasn't got the power anyway. And yeah, Will's have managed to cover that one. Very lucky man. We look on board with Sean. He must be wondering where the hell he can attack that Porsche. Anytime he gets alongside it, he just gets out dragged out of the corners. And that was his opportunity. A mistake from Will, a rare mistake from Will. And the Frenchman still managed to hold him. So we look back at the Lexus, and in the background I can see that Adam's got past Ben, so we missed that. And Ben's flashing his lights and got his hazards on, so he wants Adam to push up to the guys in front. I think Ben needs a dance partner to get involved in this with the straight line speed, so he needs the slipstream. And he'll sit behind Adam now for a little while and see if these two can't work together and get at the battle for third and fourth. Whether Adam understands that is a different story. Nathan with his personal best lap of the race just to rub it in, 33.8 against Kevin's 34.4, so Kevin hasn't got an answer. Will though doing 34.0, so Will with incredible pace in this race, and Sean 33.9, so those guys are really fast. 34.5 back laps, that's still good pace from Sean. The added excitement of a slipstream from the Porsche. What's happening behind is still Adam in front, so wow, that's as close as you come to an accident, Will. Don't do that again. Literally lost the back end of the Porsche, and normally that's game over and good night, but he managed to save that, and fair play to him. Sean will be encouraged by that. Adam's still ahead of Ben, so Ben's still seeing if Adam can pull him up, but it doesn't look like it's going to happen. Coleman doing up to 7th ahead of Cullinan, Yorgos, Lewis, Tassos with Liam all over him. Or is he just past Liam? I think he's past Liam, so Liam dropping down like a stone. Seems to be wrecking his tyres. Panos 13th, Brian 14th, and then 13th, sorry, and then Andrew at the back. Nathan's got this covered, he's got the pace, he's got the fuel, and he's only got 3 laps to go to his first victory in SBR GC3 in the endurance race, which is the one everyone wants to win. Battle for third just coming out the last corner now, and Will's wide again. Again, that's more encouragement for Sean. In the background, and Adam and Ben very close, but they're just not doing the lap times, they're not really working together. Again down the straight, great sight as these two thunder past the stadium, the grandstand even. Sean trying the outside now and maybe learnt from Will's switchback, but not quite, and meanwhile as if to prove that they can do it as well, Ben and Adam doing the exact same thing. Sean hanging around the outside, but really that's not going to help. It's just trying to unsettle Will. Now what can he do around this corner? He's overtook someone around the outside here before, but he's not going to do it this time. Down the inside here is an option, but you've got to be fully committed and have the guy in front play ball, which is not always the case. Ben with a great exit on the Mercedes, but that's about as close as he's going to get as he gets out dragged now down the hill. Looking around the back of the Mercedes, but it's kind of hopeless on the straight. Will all over the curbs fighting off Sean as Brian gets fully out the way and then gets all over the muck and nearly spins. But he doesn't get in the way of this battle, and Ben's made the move. He's gone up the inside into that tricky corner and he's got the move done. So he's obviously lost patience with waiting for Adam to try and catch the guys in front, and well, it's too late now, so they're just going to have to have a personal duel for 5th place. Liam's car looks horrible, literally looks like he's on a skid pan, and well, he's lost out to one BMW. Looks like he's going to lose out to the other one because Panos has got a lot more grip and pace at the moment. Kevin looks like he's going to settle for second. Sean down the inside, very late braking, messes it all up, lucky not to spin. Ben though just holding off the Mercedes on the straight. Adam a bit sideways on the exit. This is going to go down to the last lap. Both of those battles, I would say. And meanwhile, speaking of battles, Lewis all over the back of Yorgos, and they got Kulinen just in front, who's gone defensive, sort of defending fresh air right now. But Lewis down the inside, and he's braked late again, and got ahead of Yorgos. Yorgos looking for the switchback, and Kulinen sideways in front of him, but he just holds it. Lewis thinking about the inside there, but that's brave and isn't going to work. Again, Kulinen wide. He looks like he's really struggling on his tyres. A few guys here with running out of tread. And again, Kulinen very wide. Lewis trying to go around the outside, cuts to the inside, and shows him exactly what tyre grip means as he comes past him very easily. And good move from Lewis up into, that was 8th or 9th place, I think it was. Nathan just cruising to the end now on his last lap. Kevin though drops to the high 34s, and that just means he's bringing the car home, I would say. Not bringing the car home as these two and the two in front of them. Sean now looking for a move down the inside, it looked like. Mr. Cameraman, there it is. Sean takes 3rd at the moment. He's finally got the inside run into turn 1, which he's been trying to do for the last 20 laps. He's got it done, but will he be able to cover that move from the Porsche? Yes, he has, so he's learnt his lesson. Now it's down to Will to make the move. Ben got down the inside of the Mercedes, but I think we know what's going to happen here. Adam can even retake a line, I would say. Yep, he does. So, yeah, it's going to have to be another adventurous move down the inside somewhere to get that done. Sure, no. Now he's trying to hold off Will, placing his car in the middle of the track. Ben with a great run on Adam. Will he swoop to the inside? No, he tries the outside. That's brave, but he's got it done. And what a move around the outside. He's got that done, and Will's attacking Sean, I could see in the foreground. Although here comes the Mercedes on Ben. I don't think Adam's going to get around the outside though, and he hasn't. And I can see Will's all over the back of Sean in front. But it's going to be Nathan that wins. Nathan takes his first GT3 win in SBR, and he'll be over the moon with that. He's worked very hard for that in practice, and he's beaten Kevin at his own game with fuel saving. Meanwhile, Adams pulled a late dive down the inside. It didn't work. Didn't take the place though. Kevin comes home 2nd. Looks like Sean's going to be 3rd, but he got a pretty difficult exit. And here comes Will. Like I say, these two cars very similar on pace on the straight. Will takes all the slipstream he can as they come across the line. Who's it going to be? Will's closing. Just Sean from Will. Ben and Adam with the same thing, but it's not really the same fight, and Adam's got him and takes 5th. Ben 6th. Coleman, adventurous race comes to an end in 7th. He's been sideways, inside out, off the track in China, but he's come back and he's 7th place. Good result for Coleman. 8th for Lewis. It looked like it was going to be a tricky race, but he's salvaged 8th. Kulinen comes home 9th. Great race from Kulinen. Much better from him. Tassos comes home 9th. Yorgos 10th. 11th is 12th for Panos. 13th for Liam. 14th there for Brian, then Andrew. So there's the confirmed results. Fastest lap went to Adam, so fair play to Adam for that. And all the others going down through. So yeah, Yorgos 10th, Kulinen 11th. So whether Kulinen had a penalty, I didn't see. But much better driving from him this week. And Liam disappointed with 13th. That's the standout there, really. Brian beating Andrew to get revenge from Monza. So that was race 5 from Fuji. Race 6 will be with Liam, and he will show you the sprint race shortly after this.